straighten your banner. Jeez, come on. I'm going to have to figure out why is that so loose. Man, why is that so loose? We'll fix it later. Get this out of the way. And from the WDWL TV multiplex, live from Red Studio 3, we bring you with a lot of anticipation the pride of the station, the grumpy old man, and the grumpy vulture. Take your bow. Take your bow. Take your bow. Take your bow. Okay. Not too bad today. Not too bad. We gotta fix this banner. It's too goddamn loose. Back in your spotlight. Look at the camera. There you go. Get this out of the way. Which one do you like best? 1, 2, or 3? I wasn't going to change it, and then today I went, why not? Personally, I like number 1. This one, now yesterday, the news desk was right in the center. This shows empty studio. But it's got more screens. Like over here. You know, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then another big one, and then over here. Like they do anything. You like number 1 too? Yeah, me too. Tomorrow, we start with the green. I can't wait. The only problem is they're a one-time use. It's a one-time use. Because once, like I say, I'll call it shock value is over, it's not a background you would use every day. And, Kathy, goddamn chair. You won't believe what's been out in my backyard since 7 o'clock this morning. An extremely pregnant deer. And I mean, whoa. She looks like she's going to drop any minute. And I hope she drops underneath my big shrub in the back. I would love to see a little deerlet. Yeah, this morning, both the cats were like out the back window. I thought maybe there was a cat back there. I look out, and at first I didn't see her because she was back behind the shrub. And I'm looking like, what are you guys looking at? And then I see a head pop out and look my direction. I was like, oh. And then about 10 minutes later, she came out into the yard and like, whoa. She looks like she's going to have twins. I've never seen a pregnant deer. She looks like she's going to have twins. She looks like an elephant. Just before, well, I had to go make a cup of coffee. I looked out. Yeah, she's out there trimming my one shrub. So I hope she stays. I hope this is a good sign. I would love to see a little deerlet in the morning, you know. A bambino. That's the only thing that went right today. I ordered my medication like usual. 8 o'clock, as soon as the pharmacy opens. If I order at 8, I usually have it about 1 o'clock. Oh yeah, not to mention my backyard looks like a fucking jungle, so. My backyard is the only yard on the street that gets deer. The only yard on the street. It don't bother me. I love to look out there and see the wildlife. But getting back to... so I call and I order my medication. And the girl said, we got a little bit of a problem. I don't like hearing little bit of a problem. I said, what's the problem? We don't have your patches. I said, oh, fuck. But they have them at the main. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to have a courier bring them from the main to Parma. Okay. So it gets to be 1 o'clock, and I'm waiting for my email notification that my medication's en route. Because I got a grocery list about this long. Well, they have a map, and you can literally see the delivery driver on the map. So I click on the map. Where's the driver? Warrensville Heights. I'm like, this ain't good. And then I look in the corner and it says you are 35 stops away. I'm looking at my watch going, I'm not going to get no grocery shopping done because I have to sign for my medication. So I'm watching, goes from Warrensville, to Maple Heights and I've been sitting here all fucking day waiting because I'm the only one. I can't say, go next door and Marianne will sign for it. No. I'd wait. $6:30. I finally get my medication. 6:30. Wasted a whole fucking day. Because it would be my luck. I would go grocery shopping and the truck would go from Warrensville right to my driveway. Next stop. And you have no way of contacting. I even called the pharmacy. I said, is there any way you can get in touch with these drivers? No. Once they load up and go, the hospital don't hear from them again unless a person isn't home. Then they have to call and say, I can't make delivery at such and such address. Otherwise, so when she gets here, I asked her, I says, how come so late? And she just kind of looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language. And she said, why? I said, I order at 8. And usually no later than 2:30. My medication's here. 3 drivers didn't show up. So she was covering 4 delivery routes. I don't know where they found this delivery service. Every month, it's an excuse. Every month, there's a problem. So, I had to go borrow a can of cat food from Marianne because I was out of delectables. Now, Boots ain't going to be happy with Fancy Feast, but it's either eat that or go hungry. Not to mention, there was shit I was out of. Now, seeing that she was on the other side of town, I probably very easily could have gone up, did my shopping, and got home in time. I didn't want to run that risk. And see, they use their own vehicles. It's not like a van service or Every month it's a different face, a different vehicle. I never see the same person twice. Is this too loud? Because when I put it on the mount, I might have hit the audio controls. So if it's too loud, let me know. I'll back it down. Yeah, if there was some way of getting in contact, like, calling the pharmacy and say, hey, I see that they're, in Warrensville, Maple Heights. I need to go shopping. Is there some way maybe you could give the driver my phone number in case they come over on this side of town so I'm home? No. I like this. I like my microphones like this. Like a real broadcast studio. Like a radio station, I like them. I didn't like having the one on the desk. Boy, did I have to cobble stuff together because the arm wouldn't bend down far enough, so I had to put an extension on it. I had to add this extension to bring the mic down. And this is the arm that I could mount a Mack truck on this arm. That's how sturdy this one is. I hate wasting a day, which I literally did. I wasted a day. Now, yeah, there's shit that I could have done. I could have mopped the kitchen floor or. Although, it really pisses me off that you can no longer buy Fabuloso. I love that cleaning stuff. I used it for everything. Then the government said, oh, we can't import that anymore. It must have had some real toxic chemicals in it. Yeah, no more Fabuloso. They can't import it. Matter of fact, Dollar Tree had to pull it from the shelves. Yeah, take a look. You can't find it. And I loved it. Especially the lavender one. I used it. Dollar Tree had not only the bottles, but they had spray bottles, like one for the bathroom and kitchen cleaner. And, yep, can't. The government said, oops. So China must have been getting back at us, putting some toxic shit in our Fabuloso. I, I use the shit out of that stuff. That's all you would see. In my cleaning supplies under the sink, Fabuloso. Had I known, I would have bought the shit out of that stuff. Because I hate paying 3-4 times the price for like Pine Sol or Lysol or whatever cleaners are on the market. Yep, no more Fabuloso. At least not until they change the formula. I've got that thing cranked up for the other headset, driving me crazy. Although I'll tell you what's another good one that you get at Dollar Tree. Awesome. I love Awesome. That's my Fabuloso replacement. Awesome. Which also comes in every flavor. You get lavender, cherry, spring scent. So I'm using Awesome. But I couldn't believe it when the girl told me, oh, we had to pull it off the shelves and ship it back. I was like, really? Yeah, the government said, nope, no Fabuloso. Nope, 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 nope. But they wouldn't say why. So I'm thinking that shit must have been toxic as hell. Yeah, China. Any hazardous waste that they couldn't get rid of, they dumped it in the vat with Fabuloso, gave it a good stir. Your Dollar Tree doesn't have Awesome? Yeah, that's what they replaced Fabuloso with. Awesome. And I'll tell you what, the spray cleaner is awesome. I like it. So far, that's all they've got is a spray cleaner. They haven't got the bottles in, for putting in your mop bucket. Although I could just take and spray the floor with Awesome and then do it that way. Because I don't like Lysol. That's all my mother ever used, Lysol. Or Pine Sol, pardon me, Pine Sol. Our house always smelled like the inside of a goddamn shrub. She Pine Soled everything. I think she put it in the laundry. I was kind of hoping that Nomad might pop in. I shipped him off an email earlier today, but I forgot to email Jenny. I went on kind of a rant because I noticed this morning I lost a subscriber. People are bailing like rats from a sinking ship. I told him, I said, lately it's just been you and me. Although, like I said, Jenny's not feeling well. Wyatt's not doing well. But I told him, I said the other night, after I get off, then Mears is on with Shiz. And he's communicated with Mears. So I'm sure the word will get to him like, I can't believe I emailed Nomad and I had on my note, email Nomad, email Jenny. I emailed Nomad. I got sidetracked and didn't email Jenny. A little warm in here. I got to turn the ceiling fan on. 1, 2, 3. Slow. I get the afternoon sun. It beats on this side of the house. I was all set to open the window. I'll tell you, my neighbor, one house over, he's got a friend that's got a Harley. Now, I got nothing against Harley people. He'll come out and he'll start that thing, and it'll idle for 20, 30 minutes. Then he shuts it off. Then like 15 minutes later, he starts it again and lets it sit there and idle. And then shuts it off. And then like 10 minutes later, he starts it again. Look who's here. We've been talking about you, buddy. We've been worried about you. And I keep forgetting to check in the morning. We were concerned. We thought maybe you weren't feeling well. It's amazing. I just said to Jenny, I said, Wyatt ain't been around lately. And there he is. Good to see you. How you feeling? That's the important thing. How you doing? I was bitching to Kathy. I ordered my medication at 8 o'clock this morning for delivery. Now, usually when I order it at 8, it's here about 1 o'clock. It got here at 6:45. I wasted a whole damn day waiting for that delivery. Well, don't be a stranger. Just pop in and say, hey, I'm saying hi. I'm not 100% today. Like I said, you never have to stick around. But we worry about one another. And we've been concerned. So I'm glad you're feeling okay, buddy. Seriously. Like I've said many times, this is probably one of the few YouTube channels that we really worry about our peoples. Well, see, the problem is, I don't know where the hospital gets this delivery service from, but they have problems every month. Like today, 3 drivers didn't show up. The poor girl had to cover 4 routes. Last month, 2 drivers didn't show up. Now, I could get off my lazy ass. The pharmacy's only 15 minutes away. I could go pick my own medication up. But during the winter, the assistant pharmacist said, "We have a delivery service. Why drive in the snow? We'll deliver it to you." Okay, for free, works for me. You know, when I had to file for disability in '04, I did everything perfect. Dotted every I, crossed every T, had a shitload of doctors, paperwork. Everybody was telling me a couple months. I filed in January of '04. It took till February of '05 to get approved. Now, luckily, I had a couple of people that gave me odd jobs, paid me under the table. That's what kept me going. Now, see, luckily, I didn't have to fight an appeal. Mine went through on the first filing, but it took them 13 months. Of course, I got that year's worth of money, but don't they realize that I have no income coming in? I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. And when you try to get an answer, it's next to impossible. I feel sorry you're on your 3rd goddamn appeal. That's bullshit. When you've got medical documentation, and it's from, reputable physicians, there should be no questions. I was lucky because the girl at Social Security told me that my neurologist wrote a glowing report. I said, well, if it was such a glowing report, why did it take 13 months? She was like, well, it does take time. You're not the only person. Oh, Wyatt, that sucks. That sucks. I feel sorry for you, buddy. I would hate to have to ride a bus. Ugh. Not to mention how goddamn expensive buses are around here. And you can't get a straight answer out of them. That's the whole thing. You call and you get the runaround. And it's sickening. You know, I don't know how many times I heard, well, you're not the only claimant, you know. Yeah, but I'm about ready to be fucking homeless. Do you care? No. They don't give a shit. They're getting their paycheck. They're driving home in their new car. Then there should be no problem, especially you got an attorney. And what's sad is once this claim goes through, your attorney is going to take his cut, and that's money you need. The whole system is bullshit. It really is. I said to one of the people down at Social Security, I says, I think you guys sit back and hope that maybe we keel over dead. That's one less claim you got to work on. Well, that's good. Because I think it's like $2.50 to get on the goddamn bus. I remember when it used to be a nickel. Yeah. Money that you need. I'm sure that he's not hurting. Now, see, I was extremely lucky. I filed my own claim. And the girl told me it's rare when a claimant does their own paperwork. I'll tell you what, I spent hours at the library researching to make sure I got everything right, because that was before internet. Well, I knew how to use a computer. The problem is, use a library computer and everybody's looking over your shoulder, you know. What are you doing? You're not looking at prawn, are you? No. Never liked public transportation. Never. But not all of us are fortunate enough, you know, to be able to hold on to a vehicle and insure it. And although that's why I drive junk. Like you say, my 97 Nissan. Then yesterday, it starts to rain, okay? I'm coming home from the store, and water starts dripping in my lap. off the sun visor. I'm going to buy a can of that, what the hell they call that spray sealer shit. They advertise it on TV all the time. You can even apply it underwater. Yeah, right. I'm going to get a spray can. Spray all the way around my windshield. See if it keeps it from leaking now. Something super seal or seal all or... Well, I'll tell you what, for seniors, you know what's amazing? Almost every senior in my neighborhood has one of them goddamn Kia Souls. I swear somewhere it says for seniors only. Although they are neat little vehicles. But yeah, van, or like me, I got, besides my pickup, I got a 97 RAV4. Because the 4x4 in winter, around here you need one. Although luckily I didn't need one last winter because it ain't running right now. I don't know up in your area, Wyatt, but I'll tell you what. I have been with Progressive 25 years, and my insurance has hardly gone up in 25 years. Now, I only put liability on them two shit boxes because... Christ, if a light bulb burns out, it's a total loss. 25 years I've been with Progressive, and they are extremely fair with their rates. Extremely. It's the longest I've ever been with an insurance company, I'll tell you that. And they have that accident forgiveness. I had 2 stupid backing accidents. They forgave me. No rate increase. No. Matter of fact, the 2 people that I had backed into, 2 separate accidents, they paid the claims within 48 hours. Matter of fact, the first stupid accident, I called in at 8 o'clock in the evening. At 10 o'clock the next day, they were writing the girl a check for her car that I backed into. And no rate increase. Where I was living was street parking only at the time. I lived outside of Cleveland for a couple of years. Well, the house right next to where I was living was abandoned. So I would park in the driveway. And I would back in. Well, this one night I come home, not expecting a vehicle to be in the driveway. So I pulled in the driveway across the street and just backed up the drive. And then all of a sudden, what the hell? at the girl that lived next door to the empty house, she couldn't find a parking space. So she put her car in the driveway. I never looked because there was never a car in the driveway. I come barreling up the driveway and oh! I said, oh, shit. So I called the police. I made a report. Called Progressive. I come out of the house, 10 o'clock in the morning. I see the Progressive car. He's writing her a check. Made her happy. Although she never did fix the car. Oh, Wyatt, I was shocked. I was like, what the hell did I hit? I get out of the truck. There's a goddamn car in the driveway. I said, this don't belong here. This is my spot. And then about 5 years later, come on, light. My buddy needed me to pick up some wood from Home Depot. Now, they were 4x4s by 10. Well, they didn't fit in my Ranger pickup truck bed. I had a Ford Ranger at the time. So I put down the tailgate and I lashed them. I go to the hardware store. I park on the street. I go in, I get what I needed. Well, somebody had parked in front of me. So I backed up. I forgot the 4x4s were back there. And there was a guy that had pulled his pickup truck in the driveway behind the hardware store. Here comes Grumpy with the 4x4s right into the quarter panel of his bed. Boom! What the hell? Then it was like, oh shit, I got 2 extra feet hanging over the back end of that goddamn. Call Progressive. 48 hours later, they called me. They said, claim settled, all done. Accident forgiven. Luckily, I have not had anything since. Because when you get to be this age, they just look for a reason to cancel you. That's why on my Nissan, I installed a backup camera. And I have a nice big screen on the dash. It's 7 inches. I can see what I'm backing into now. Two stupid backing accidents. And I'll tell you what, when you're not expecting to hit something, and you hit something, you get that shock like you're about ready to shit yourself. Like, holy shit, what did I do? And I did it twice. And I used to drive a tractor trailer. You think, like even the cop said to me, don't you know what those things are on your doors? They're mirrors. Don't rub it in. I feel stupid enough the way it is. I am going to have to email Jenny tomorrow. I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried about her. She was in a real slump, a mental slump. I'm going to have to email her in the morning and say, hey, where you been? But I'm glad to see you here tonight, buddy. Because I seriously, if I don't see somebody within a couple of days, I get worried about my peoples. Because I don't have that many in the chat here, you know. I look at it from the point, you know, if you're taking time out of your day to come see this stupid ass, I'm concerned about everybody. Like I tell everybody, you know, this ain't a YouTube channel. It's a bunch of friends sitting around the kitchen table having a cup of coffee. That's the way I look at it. And when somebody ain't here for coffee, I get a little worried. And especially knowing that, you know, people are having some health issues, that really bothers me because I know how I feel about my health issues. My goddamn doctor's turning me inside out. Jesus Christ. Although, I do like my new shrink. He's cool. Well, like I say, you never have to feel obligated to stay. If anything, you know, if you're not feeling 100%, just pop in and say, hey, I'm around. I'm not feeling too well today, but I just popped in to say hi. I'll always understand, buddy. I'm like that with everybody. If anything, just pop in to say hi. Oh, I'm dealing with some butthurt people too, Wyatt. You know, if you're going to be that fucking thin-skinned, don't get on here. If everything's going to hurt your feelings, YouTube is the wrong place to be. You know, if you can't take a little poke and you're going to run and cry like a baby, don't get on YouTube. This is the worst place to be. And I'm dealing with a couple of butthurt people too. A couple of people I thought were my friends. Have some long email chats with them, you know, and then all of a sudden their feelings are hurt because you said something that offended them. Well, believe me, I offend. I got the perfect t-shirt, Wyatt. I'm going to wear it to my shrink next week. No, the 17th. It says, I don't need anger management. I just need people to stop pissing me off. And I'm going to wear it. That's what I say. If you get your feelings hurt that easy, any social media is not for you. I got thick skin. I don't care if somebody takes a shot at me. I can take it. Oh, Wyatt, I picked up some shirts. One says, I'm the nicest asshole you'll ever meet. Another one says, it's Mr. Asshole to you. I'm going to wear them all to my shrink's office. I got them off of Temu. They were all on sale. I didn't pay over $5. Oh, some of the insulting shirts that they have. I love them. Yeah. I'm trying to think what... I bought a bunch of them. Let's see. I'm the nicest asshole you'll ever meet. It's Mr. Asshole to you. I don't need anger management. Oh, I can't think of the other. I gotta. Oh. I'll bring them in one night. And. Oh. Here we go. Let me grab this one. I wore this one to my first shrink appointment. Here. Let me get the mic out of the way. Yeah, he looked at that shirt and went, really? I said, yeah. I said, wait till you see the rest of them. What I do, I go on Temu and I put in at the search bar, T-shirts for men clearance. And most of them are $5 and under. And I bought a shitload. And I'm not afraid to wear them in public either. I know they're going to offend the shit out of people, but I don't care. I figure I'm old enough, I earned the right to wear them. And if you're that thin-skinned, don't look. Plain and simple, don't look. You don't like my shirt, don't look. Kind of gives my shrink something to think about. Oh, I'll tell you what. One day, I spent about an hour and a half going through shirts. I can't believe some of the stuff that they... But most of mine all, I can't wait until he sees the one that says, it's Mr. Asshole to you. He'll probably say, no more appointments. We're done. Yeah. I figure I'll give them something to think about. And you know, I know they're going to offend people. I don't care. I don't care. Like I say, if you don't like it, don't look. You know, too bad you're so far away. I bet you and I'd have a good time sitting around a bar having a couple of brews. I bet you we could really piss some people off. Where did Kathy disappear to? You know, it ticks me off. Every now and then the damn chat will freeze, and I don't know why. All right. I'm checking on you. How's the granddaughter doing? I want my daily granddaughter report. Because I know for sure Grandma's keeping a close eye on her. Good. Good. Glad to hear it. It'll take her a while, but she'll get tired of laying around going, ugh, I got to get out and throw a softball or something. Tell her you got some idiot in Cleveland that thinking about her. Or just open a laptop and go, here. This is where Grandma goes at 7 o'clock every evening. And she'll look at you and go, oh, come on, Grandma. I bet she gave you a look. Like, really? What's her opinion? She's like, man, he's got some screws loose. My buddy's granddaughter, every now and then she'll play my videos because he watches, but he won't comment. And she'll pull up on, pull up one of my old streams on the laptop. She'll look at her grandfather and go, really? She said to him, you stoop that low? You stoop that low, Grandpa, to watch him? Yes, he does. I keep telling him, I said, pop in and say hi, I know he's out there. Or maybe in the morning he'll watch it, Like Nomad, he catches me in the morning. If he even watches anymore, I don't know. I emailed him this morning. I never got an answer. Probably looked at my email and went, delete. Because I was asking him if he can get a hold of Mears. It kind of irritated me a little bit, you know. He couldn't pop in and say hi, but then he ends up, after I log off, he's on with Shiz, you know. Not saying you can't go wherever you want to go, but at least pop in and say hi now and then. During the day, he's on different places. But see, like right now, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's, especially since the time change, it's too late for him. Yeah, Nomad will, like if Stone Vet's on, Nomad will pop in there. I can't remember what the other ones, but most of the time it's during the day. Because he told me, he said, you know, with the time change, it's late. And I don't expect somebody to be up at 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, like me, with my insomnia. Oh, Jesus. Somebody's at the goddamn door. I even have a sign. Do not disturb. I'll be right back. Goddamn people. Can't read. Jesus. Okay, we can't yell about that one. Can't yell about that one. My neighbor brought me over some cat treats. Her cat don't like them. I said, oh boy, that'll make mine happy. God forbid I don't have cat treats. He turns into a mountain lion. Of course, he's got me trained. I can't go in the bedroom. Because if he hears me go in the bedroom, he can be on the other side of the house. He comes in, jumps up on the bed, cat treats, cat treats. And if I don't give him any, he'll grab my goddamn pants. Hey, cat treats. Oh, okay, here, have some treats. Then he's happy. The other day I tried sneaking in the bedroom. He was asleep in the kitchen window. Next thing I know, I turn around. Here he is. Cat treats. Where'd you come from? So Mary Ann's cat didn't care for the treats she bought. Although they're generic, I don't think he's going to like them. He likes his Purina cat treats. You know, I come to the door and she's like, were you on YouTube? Yes. Okay, here. Here's some cat treats. My cat didn't like them. Sorry. I can't yell at her, but yeah. As soon as I open the door, were you on YouTube? Yes. Oh. Big sign on the door. Do not disturb between 7 and 9 p.m. Least thing she could have done was brought me some cookies or something. Cat treats. Although, those cookies were killer that she brought over last week. Ugh. And the corn muffins. Suckers were like basketballs. So your granddaughter thinks I'm nuts, huh? Doesn't she question you like, is that all you got to do, Grandma, at 7 p.m.? Go on with him? Kids. That's all right. She don't get it right now. She's what, 11? She just thinks Grandma's a little off, you know. Never questions it. Wow. Oh, okay. That's all right. You tell her. I check on her every night, make sure how she's doing. I wouldn't wish surgery on anybody, let alone an 11-year-old. But at least she's on the mend. That's good. It won't be long. She'll be out throwing that fucking softball. Kids bounce back fast. They heal a lot quicker than we do. And it's getting to be softball season, so she'll be chomping at the bit, waiting for the doctor to say, okay, here you go. You can play softball. What position does she play? Or is she playing multiple positions? I like watching the pitchers. Oh, really? Whoa. That is one position I would never. I've seen in Major League Baseball some of them catchers get winged by a foul tip going backwards. But watching the pitchers, when they wind up an underhand, and it's amazing how fast some of those girls can throw that goddamn softball. I used to watch them practice up at the high school. I was like, holy shit. Watching them girls wind up, I couldn't throw it overhand, let alone underhand. Don't phase her. Good for her. Girl's got nerves of steel. Grandma's got to get a picture. You can blur the face. I just want to see her in her catcher stuff. You can blur it out. I just want to see her behind home plate. Good for her. God damn. That's a hell of a position to play. Good for her. I give her a lot of credit. That'd be a girl a guy better watch when he dates her. Tell her, hey, I was a catcher. Okay. I thought for sure maybe Jenny would pop in. I'm really getting worried. I got to email, without fail in the morning, I got to email her just to check on her. And you know, like yesterday, I told you, I wrote that note, email Nomad, email Jenny. I emailed Nomad. I got sidetracked, and I forgot all about Jenny. See, I took the email down, or the note, and I threw it away. I shouldn't have thrown it away until after I sent both emails. But I emailed Nomad. Oh, Marianne, she texted me. She needed to borrow something. What did she need to borrow? Oh, a crescent wrench. She needed a crescent wrench. And see, what I done is I threw the note away. I gave her the crescent wrench. I come back to my desk, and I forgot all about sending Jenny an email. Tomorrow for sure, without fail. I'll write another note. And on the note, I'll put, do not throw away until you send email, asshole. I love it. Wyatt's going to go on Temu and look for some insulting t-shirts. All right. Yeah, I ordered that Well, it's not an edger. It's an edger with a saw blade and wheels, so I can blitz my backyard. I used my $10 credit. Yeah, with tax and shipping, it was like, well, since I had a $10 credit, I ordered the next better one. Come to like 26 bucks. Had I gone to Home Depot, it would have been 100. And it comes with 2 batteries. So I can't wait to get it. Although the deer is out there munching my backyard, so maybe she'll knock it all down. God, I hope she sticks around. Oh, God. I would love to look out the window one morning and see a little deerlet. Because she looks like she's going to drop any minute. God, she's got to be carrying twins. Got to. From when I saw her, when she was here, it was like around the 1st of March. She's got like, whoa. Got to be the same one. Oh, believe me, I'll have 1,000 pictures. I'll make sure I use the better camera so I can zoom in. If she drops in the backyard, I'll have tons of pictures. I'll be like a new grandparent. And if she has that in my backyard, she's going to be here for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Easy. Because she won't move that thing. I just have to stay out of the yard. I'll have to park the truck in the front so I don't scare it. Oh God, I hope. That would be so cool to have a little deerlet in the city on top of it. But there has to be a reason why she came back. Just saying. But fingers crossed, I hope she sticks around. Yeah, the 2 cats this morning were in that window. And when I looked out, I didn't see her. Because I get this big, huge shrub in the backyard. She was behind it. Next thing I see this head pop out. I'm like, oh, a deer. Then she came out from behind the shrub, and I was like, whoa, you big, mama. Oh, she doubled in size. She's huge. First of all, I've never seen a pregnant deer. But this one's really pregnant. And it's a wild one. No tags. Because we've got some that the Department of Wildlife monitors, and they got tags in their ears with GPS locators. She don't have no tags. She's 100% wild, which is really odd. I just wonder where the buck is. Because for that week that they were here, that buck wouldn't leave her side. Oh, he had a nice rack on him. Oh, he was a 10-pointer. I hope somebody didn't pick him off. Or hit him. That's the thing that always bothers me. These deer wandering around the neighborhoods. They think traffic's going to stop for them. Stop for me, I'm a deer. Oops. But out of all the yards in this neighborhood, they pick mine. I don't know, maybe it's that big shrub in the backyard. I don't know. But every year, they're here. Every year. Although they ain't going to get no treats this year because Marianne's peach tree, something, I can't remember what she said. She's got to spray it because there's like hardly any blossoms on it this year. Although last year, it was strange. This tree had a shitload of peaches. Now, they weren't ripe yet. And then like overnight, they shriveled up and fell off the tree. I can't remember what Marianne called it. Every one of the peaches just shriveled up and fell off the tree. Now, 2 years ago, holy shit, that tree was loaded with peaches. But last year, because the deer love to eat them, it was hilarious. One morning I come out, there's like 6 deer around the tree eating the peaches off of it. I was like, oh, you guys having a little meal, huh? Save some for me. Them deer, they just wander around the neighborhood like not a care in the world. Walk down the sidewalk. People are looking like, yeah, they think they own it, you know. Just wander through the neighborhood. But I was shocked to see her this morning. I was like, whoa. Yeah, Kath, they just... Now, the ones with the tags in their ears, you can pet them. You can literally walk up to them and they don't care. Oh. What kind of bear you have? Black bear, brown bear? Probably black bear. I think that's the area they're in. Oh, they can do some damage. Whoa. I've seen pictures where people have left food in their car. Goddamn bears destroy the shit out of cars. Holy Christ. And they can figure a way to get in. But yeah, I've seen pictures. Man, they'll tear the shit out of a car. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's one wild animal I wouldn't want to be in my backyard in the morning. I don't trust them. Oh yeah, oh. If if there's any, like even a garbage can, if it's like some people keep their garbage cans in their garage. Goddamn bear will rip the garage door off to get to it. They can do some damage. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where they tear the shit out of stuff. Well, that's okay. That's more important than me. Got to keep the little lady happy. You don't want to piss her off. Say, hey, it's grumpy time. Oh, okay, okay. We wondered where you went, but that's okay. That's more important than being here. Believe me, being divorced 4 times, the last thing you ever want to do, piss off a female. Because, you know, if you ever win an argument, it makes it worse. You might have thought you won, but you'll get them 2 famous meals, hot tongue and cold shoulder. Nope, nope, nope. Never, 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 ever, 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 ever piss them off. Nope. Got to keep them happy. I learned that a little too late. All my friends were saying, like, aren't you going to do it 5 times? I was dumb enough to do it the second time, let alone 4. Yeah. You're right. It's bad enough to do it accidentally, but on purpose, you pay. You pay. Yeah. Keep the little ladies happy. Kathy will vouch for that one. How's the weather up in your end of the country? The snow finally gone? My cousin lives up in Rhode Island. Trying to think of the name of the goddamn city. Scituate, something like Scituate, Rhode Island. It's not pronounced the way it's spelled. She said they pronounce it Scituate, but it looks like Shuwait or something. Oh my God, you have better weather than we had here. Rain like hell today. Holy shit. It's 64 right now. And they expect more rain. Ugh. Yeah, one of these days I told my cousin I'm going to come up and visit. Yeah, it's like Scituate, Rhode Island. Yeah, if you look at it, it's spelled weird. But she says it's pronounced like Scituate, Rhode Island. I never looked on a map. I don't know what it's close to. And my high school buddy lives in Massachusetts. Trying to think where in Mass he lives. I can't think of where the hell he... I go brain dead. I can't remember where the hell he lives. All I know is he's got 2 McDonald's. He had 3. Not bad for a kid that started out flipping burgers. Started out 18 years old, flipping burgers at McDonald's, and ended up owning 3. That's why I tell kids, there ain't nothing embarrassing about flipping burgers at McDonald's. He was telling me about McDonald's Hamburger University. They actually have their own university. They teach you the proper way to flip a burger. I can't remember where the hell he lives. That's going to drive me crazy now. Starts with a D. That's all I can remember. I'm pretty sure it starts with a D. Let me see if I have an envelope from him. I could have swore I had an envelope. Nope, I thought I had a... No, that's not it. something like Dartmouth. Does that sound right? Dartmouth, Mass. Uh, gonna drive me crazy now. I know I got an envelope around here somewhere with his return address on it, and I can't find it. Okay, wrong. I know it starts with a D. Dedham isn't, no, that's not it. Oh, for crying out loud. You know, Wyatt, back in the day, we used to keep address books. And we used to, not anymore. I don't think I got him in my cell phone. I don't think I have his address in my cell phone. God, that's going to drive me crazy. Where'd I put that damn... He just sent me something 2 weeks ago. And I put the envelope... Oh, I'll find it later. Damn it. Sucks to get old. I don't think I've got his address in my cell phone. I don't put addresses in my cell phone. No. Nope. You know, I should do that. It's not like there isn't, in the contacts, you can put the addresses. I don't know why I don't put addresses. I've got, names and phone numbers. Of course, I don't send that much stuff anymore. But I know I've got an envelope around here somewhere. If I find it, I'm going to put his address in my cell phone. I just can't think where to put it. Don't ever get old. The mind goes first. See, when we used to keep address books, what I would do Because most people back in the day had address labels. The return address in the corner. I would cut it off the envelope and tape it in my address book. That way I always had it. And, over the years, we got out of that habit of putting shit in an address book. Because we relied on our cell phones. But you can't go in a store and buy an address book. Like the drugstore, they don't have any. They used to. The only place I get an address book from is if I go to Staples, the office supply store. And then, I don't need no big goddamn... I used to have a little one, pocket size. We got them from Ohio Bell. They were blue. And they had the Ohio Bell logo on it. Little pocket-sized address book. I used to carry that thing for years. And then you get away from it. Although back in the day, we memorized phone numbers. God, growing up, I knew all of my friends' phone numbers by heart. You memorized them. Now, we put them in our cell phone. God forbid we lose our cell phone. Because we then have lost our life. Because our life is in that goddamn thing. Right now, I couldn't tell you what my sister's phone number is. I have no idea. I know it's a 440 area code. That's it. I could see me. What's your emergency contact? Well, let's see. 440 and number. What are the numbers? But it's a 440 area code. Good. I'll have to have you send me one. You go into the office supply store and the goddamn thing is, $20. I don't need, a day timer and all that shit. I just need a little phone book. Like I say, you used to be able to get them everywhere. Drugstore, mom and pop places. Not anymore. But who uses phone books? Seniors. I don't know any young people that have phone books. Everything's in their cell phone. Now, my buddy's wife, the one who calls me every Sunday, religiously. Ugh. You talk about somebody that's got a personal phone book. I've never seen them at Family Dollar. And I wander through the store because I like to see what new shit they have. I've never seen because I always go over in the stationery area. Never seen a phone book. Never. I was in Family Dollar the other day looking for cheap Easter candy. They didn't have any. He told me there ain't much candy that comes through that says Easter anymore. And the shit they had, I didn't want any of it. And you would think every Family Dollar, no matter where you went, would have the same merchandise. I've never seen, because if I'd seen them, believe me, I have one right here, right now. Because I would be able to look up my buddy's address. I know he had that goddamn envelope around here somewhere. What the hell did I do with it? Is it under my blotter here? No. It's not under my blotter. Oh, that irritates me. Wait a minute. Is that it? Wait a minute. No, that's not it. Oh, come on. I know I saved it because he sent me some of them frickin' McDonald's Happy Face stickers. That's how I can tell an envelope from him a mile away because he puts that goofy McDonald's Happy Face thing on it. I said, I know that you own 2 of them. You don't have to keep putting Happy Face stickers on. Yeah, I tell kids, they're out of work looking for a job. I say, go get a job at McDonald's. Oh, I ain't flipping burgers. I said, well, a friend of mine at 18 years old started flipping burgers at McDonald's. And by the time he was in his late 50s, he owned 3. Three McDonald's franchises. Matter of fact, he just last summer, he sold one of them because it was at the other side of town. So he runs the one and his wife runs the other one. I said, that just goes to prove one thing. If you're diligent and you work hard and you want to go somewhere in life, he started out flipping fucking burgers and making French fries at 18. By the time he was in his mid-50s, he owned 3 franchises. course, kids don't believe it, yeah. Of course, it was a lot of hard work, saving money, scrimping, building up your credit so you get a loan. And he bought one. And then he was able to pay off the loan. And then he mortgaged that one to buy a second one. And then paid them two off. And then mortgaged one to buy a third one. And had them all paid off free and clear. Yeah, it was like 55, 56 years old. Owned 3 fucking McDonald's franchises. 3. And he started out, and when he started working for McDonald's, that's when the guy would be cutting the French fries. They used to have a little room. You put the potato in the machine and because they used to cut their own fries back in the day. That's what he started doing. Making hamburgers and cutting French fries. Oh, they wanted everything handed to them. Oh, I got to work? Oh, like, the manager up at the Family Dollar. He said, kids, they come in, they apply for a job, they get their first paycheck, and he never sees them again. Oh, I have to work? Oh, ugh. They're not going to just hand me the check? Well, no. Yeah, they work 2 weeks, and then they want to be manager. I remember, perfect example, my buddy's daughter got a part-time job at Burger King. She worked there about 3 weeks and started telling the manager how to do his job. He was like, this is a tried and true method here. Believe me, they've tried every other way possible to do this position that you're doing. Oh, they don't know what they're talking about. I can do it better. No, you can't. Yeah, 3 weeks later, she's, telling the manager how to do his job. He didn't become manager by not knowing what he was doing. Not to mention, he didn't walk in the door and get hired as a manager. I have never, in all my years, Kathy, seen so many "we're hiring" signs as I see today. Everywhere. I see "we're hiring," "help wanted." It's amazing. I've never seen so many places begging for people. It's just because, you know what? We had to work for what we got. Kids today have everything handed to them. So when it gets to the point where they're 18 years old, they still expect it to be handed to them. When I tell kids, when I got my first part-time job, besides paying my own car insurance, I had to pay rent. These kids pay rent to live in your own house? Yeah. I had to pay rent. When I wanted my own landline back in the day, I had to save up to pay for the installation to get my own phone number, get my own phone, and have enough out of my paycheck to pay my car insurance, my phone bill, yellow, and rent. And believe me, my mother was standing there with her hand out. You got paid today, didn't you? I tell kids that today, they're like, I'd leave home. What? Where are you going to go? Your friend's house? They ain't putting you up for free. When I wanted a car, my father said, save your money. I ain't signing for no car note. And you ain't buying a piece of junk. So when I had enough money to buy a decent car, I bought the car, and he goes, what about insurance? Well, can you put me on your policy? I'll pay you. Nope. Get your own. Well, car insurance back in the day wasn't cheap for an 18-year-old. I didn't get nothing handed to me. I had to pay rent. Had to pay my car insurance, gas, upkeep. I always had to put some money away in case I blew a tire or something. I wanted a phone. My father said, well, call the phone company, see how much installation is. When you got the money, I'll okay it. I had to save up. And finally I had the money. I was able to get my hello rotary dial. Whoa! I knocked the split screen off. I forgot it's magnetic hanging upside down. Get up there. There. I gotta quit talking like an Italian with my hands. When I talk to teenagers today, it shocks the shit out of them. Because their parents give them whatever they want. Oh, Wyatt, I can't save money for shit. You ain't the only one, buddy. That Social Security check only stretches so far. But I'll tell you what, when my check deposits, I sit down and I pay every fucking bill right then and there. So I know how much I've got to live on. And then I stretch it. And it's tough. Before my check deposited, I had $23.03 left. And luckily my check went in this morning. That's what I was down to. 2303. Goddamn money don't stretch as far anymore. God, every time you go to the store, goddamn prices keep going up and up. Christ. Bologna sandwich used to be a mileage meal back in the day. Now goddamn bologna, $7 a pound, $8 a pound for bologna. Same thing. Peanut butter and jelly used to be a cheap meal. Not a meal, but now look at the price of peanut butter and jelly. The stuff is made of gold. Christ, even the goddamn hot dogs ain't cheap anymore. Well, I hope it goes through quick. It's sad. It really... Then people look at me like, why are you driving them pieces of junk? Well, first of all, they're paid for. Second of all, I don't have to get them inspected. And third of all, they're cheap to insure. And fourth, I can fix them. Goddamn cars today. You need a $3,000 scanner just to figure out what the hell's the matter with it. Then when you find out what's the matter with it, you can't fix it. I open the hood on these new cars and I go, where's the engine? There ain't no engine here. It's all covered up. Yeah, see, I never think of going to the food bank. We've got a couple around here. I never think of it. Well, speaking of food, it's that time. It's food time. And it's outro time. We know where, right here. WDWL TV, 7 p.m. And everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. Wyatt, buddy, take care. Good seeing you. And like I say, if you don't feel like staying, just pop in and say hi. Kathy, wherever you're hiding, hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Tell your granddaughter I was checking on her. And with that, we will meet again tomorrow night. See ya.